Hi, in this video we will cover how to create scenario and to run the test. In previous video we have already explained how to create REST APIs script. So I am logging into the system. Here you can see the product UI window for NetStorm tool, and in today's video we will cover scenarios part. So click on scenario. After clicking on scenarios, this window will open which will explain all the available scenarios and their details. So here we are having project name, sub-project name, scenario, owner, group name and modification time. So to create scenario, we will click on create button. We need to provide these details, which include project name, sub-project name, scenario name. Project is Macy's, sub-project name is services, and scenario name is after this click on next button. So this will create a scenario which named REST API new 2, and here we are having multiple options: scenario type, schedule type, scheduled by, distribution mode. So in scenario type we are having multiple options: fixed concurrent users, fixed session rate and many more. So in this video we will cover fixed concurrent users, which means the number of concurrent user accessing the scenario or accessing the application. In schedule type we are having two options: simple and advanced. We will cover advanced type. In advanced type we can add multiple phases, like we can give 2 or more ramp up phases, 2 or more duration phases and so on. Third one is scheduled by, scenario and group. In scenario we will give all the phases and setting will apply to the whole scenario, and in group we can provide some specific settings to a particular group. Next is distribution mode, where we can distribute the number of users by percentage or by numbers. After providing these details, we need to add a group. Here we need to provide these details: group name, user profile, type, script and number of users. So group is G1, profile internet. You can also provide any other profile. Type, script and URL. Here we are using a script, and then script name, REST service, and then number of users. Click on OK to add the group. Here you can see we are having a group G1 with internet user profile and with a script REST service for 10 users. After this, just click on Save button to save this group. After creating this group, we need to provide multiple phases for this group. Here you can add multiple groups also. For now, we are adding just one group. So to provide multiple phases to this group, we need to click on this button, Add Phase. Here you can see we are having multiple phases: ramp up phase, stabilize phase, duration and ramp down. The ramp up phase will explain how the V users will enter into the application. Here I am starting with 5 number of users, and we are having multiple options that how these 5 virtual users will enter into the application. It can be simultaneously or within some time. So here I am providing some time. So 5 virtual users will enter into the system in 5 seconds linearly. You can also provide randomly. Just click on OK. Here you can see that ramp up phase is added to this scenario. Now we will add duration phase. So duration phase will explain for the time the virtual users will remain into the system. So here it is duration phase, which explain that 5 users, which we already given in the ramp up phase, will run for 5 minutes. We can also add multiple ramp up phases and duration phases also. So here you can see we are having 2 ramp up phases and two duration phases. After that, we will add one more phase, which is ramp down. It explains how the virtual users will log out from the system. Here you can provide all virtual users also or some number of users. And we are having multiple options also, simultaneously and in some period of time. So I'm giving all virtual users will ramp down in 5 seconds. So here we are having multiple phases which are added to this scenario, which explain how the virtual users will interact with the application. After this, just click on Save button to save the phases and the scenario settings. In the left pane, you can see we are having multiple settings. One is global setting, which is applied to the whole scenario. It includes logs, reports, transactions, HTTP, IP settings, SSL, and many more. And group-based settings, this will apply to a particular group. think time, session pacing, inline delay, logs and reports, and many more. We are having monitors also, server mapping, real browser user settings, SMTP settings, user profiles, which include profile, location, access, browser, screen size. So here we are having multiple settings which we can apply to the scenario. So here we are ready with our scenario, and to run this scenario we just need to click on start button. I am starting this scenario. Before this we need to provide this test name, and just click on start scenario. After this test is started, you will redirect to this window, web dashboard, and here you can see the virtual user graph, session started, TCP send and receive, and response time graph also. So this is all about the scenarios, how to create scenarios and how to run the test.